It's an A&B conversation. A&B conversation. A&B conversation. Everyday motivation.
Hey, what's goody? I am the A, Amber.
I'm the B, Brittany.
This is the A and B conversation, so see your way in. Hello, how are you today?
You know, I think the B stands for bitch today. I think.
Yes, I love spicy Brittany.
Yeah, I think, maybe I've been too delightful lately. Maybe.
Yes, turn it up. We love
Yeah.
when you tell everybody how all the things you hate.
Oh my God, I hate everything.
Well, do you have a drink today?
Do I? It's a Henny straight kind of day. It's a Henny privilege. We got to try to class it up. Yeah.
I'm just back with a can of Babe Rosé. Cheers.
Cheers, babes. Oh my God. I still forgot to buy that. I'm going to remember it.
So delicious every time.
I had some Whispering Angel in the freezer the other day and I completely forgot about it. And that bitch bust open. But just the top popped. I was like, oh, nigga, we drinking this shit. We having frosé. So pull up a chair.
Yes. Add a little splash of vodka or tequila. Okay, let's get into this eye.
So, today we're talking about trends.
Okay, we didn't know. Okay, today we're talking about trends.
Talking about trends. So I happen to get inspired by a little lime green. I don't know if you can really tell if it's lime green, but it's basically
Absolutely can.
Oh, I can't, because I can't tell. These lights are bright. I can't tell if it looks just like a pop, but not. Yeah, so this is lime green. Mm-hmm. A little something, a little like a little paint swipe in the center, and then just a clean middle line.
It's not a full line.
No.
Close your eye for me. Oh, my girl is giving us casual editorial. We love it.
I figured, can I impress Amber? How can I impress Amber? It's by
I
not
love
doing the
this.
same. Yeah, I figured. I was like, this is going to be my Amber and Spoken.
This is such a not you thing to do.
I know. I was a little over it. I'm not Denise today. I'm another girl today. In case the folks don't know, Amber calls me Denise when I get in a real
when her Virgo starts Virgo when she's Denise.
When Virgo rises and starts getting to the top of the mountain, we gotta reel her in. We gotta set her down.
She's Denise, yeah.
So that girl's Denise. I don't know her. We don't know her.
We're not Denise today. Today you're giving us. Maybe you're just giving us a good old fashioned 125th Street Brittany.
100%. I was going to say, I think this used to be me. I used to be a dewy girl. I mean, obviously I did mad a little bit because I did my makeup really early today. But yeah, I just was I used to be fun. I used to be reinventive. I used to be innovative.
I used to be fun.
Now I'm just wait, can I just be cute because I'm a mom? When you turn into a mom, all of a sudden you're wait, I don't know if I'm that bitch I used to be. So I got to find ways to feel like I'm that bitch all the time.
Absolutely that bitch.
But let's get into this. I see a cheek. I see a lip. I see my favorite hair.
I'm giving you full K-pop vibes today. I'm giving you full K-pop vibes today. I'm giving you, it's giving real TikTok inspired. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you cold girl makeup with my blush and the blush across the eyes, a little twinkle.
Yep.
Just a little twinkle. And then I'm giving you a popsicle stained lip where you're just keeping the red just right there in the middle. Oh my God, I've just been eating a popsicle in the cold. So cute.
This is very fashion week too.
This is it. Yeah, this is quite editorial, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm giving a brushed brow under here.
It's gorgeous.
Lashes
are lashing.
Just brush it. Oh, are they?
She's all, yeah, I don't know.
I just put out a little mascara. Per use. But yes. Oh, and then of course my skin is my everyday skin. I do know that the cold skin trend usually is a little more dewier.
Interesting.
It looks I feel like it looks a little more dewier. It's a little more frosty, obviously. Mm-hmm. Cold skin. But yeah, she's been around. The girlies have been doing these on TikTok for a few months now. I mean, all winter, honestly.
All winter.
And yeah, I feel like it's
I find
not
the dewy
anywhere.
winter strange though.
I'm dewy in the winter.
Well, you're dewy all the time, but I feel when you think winter, I think
cold.
Yeah, I think
dry.
Oh my God.
Dry. It's that perfect, you're dewy because the snowflakes are falling effortlessly on your face. You know what I'm saying?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Or you have on too many layers and you're sweating.
That be the one for me. I be rushing the train. I'm like, wait, I'm sweating inside, but I'm cold outside. What's
Yo,
happening?
my gosh. I know that feeling in New York City all too well. All too well. Hot and cold at the same time.
Yeah, we're not here for her. But yeah, so we'll talk trends. Let's talk some obvious trends that I feel like are resurfacing. So years ago, I used to be in school for interior design. I worked at Ralph Lauren to the trade. Talk about that. But so there's these 3 rules of like what's retro, what's vintage, what's antique. And I feel like we're in like a retro age. So like retro, in theory, is only 20 years, but I feel like the 90s are giving 30 because, wow, it's giving 30. I feel like we're in a retro stage right now. Antique is 20 to 100 to 99, and then, or vintage is 20 to 99. Antique is obviously 99 and above. But I feel like glam, we're in a very retro stage of like, we're getting inspired by things in the 90s, but we're like polishing it up a little bit. And I think we can start with thin brows. Them bitches is coming back.
I actually want to put an asterisk. I think.
Go ahead, please.
I think as millennials, we be like, oh, the 90s, because that's when we were kids. But in real life, the Gen Z girlies are copying the thin brows from the early 2000s. It's giving big
late 90s, yeah. So the first
late 90s, early, like
correct.
98,
No, you're right.
99, like 2000, when we were in high school, like 2004, like
totally. Because it was tapering because Paris Hilton still had the thin brows, which is very 2000s. Like Drew Barrymore, all Tyra.
Yes.
Nigga, Tyra definitely with the thin brows. Like, and she also had like that sandy hair. So it was almost like invisible brow. It was kind of giving invisible brow low key. But before the 90s was the bushy, like brushed up brow. Like, which
like Brooke Shields.
Yes, Brooke Shields.
She made that really popular.
She made it popular. Madonna actually really made it popular too. And then, Snapple Cat fact, Francois Nars was the first person ever to pluck her eyebrows. Apparently one of her homegirls used to be like, you need to pluck your eyebrows, et cetera, like get an arch. And she's like, nah. And then she goes on set with Steven Meisel and Francois Nars, and they did the book Sex, which is like a big deal for her in the 80s. And he was like, it was early 90s. And he was like, let me pluck your brows. And like convince that bitch. And then all of a sudden it was like, wait, we're plucking our brows. I'm like, really? Like, I guess you don't even think about how transformative like our jobs are because we're so behind the scenes, especially then. Like you really had to be in the know. Like I didn't know that until way later in my life, obviously. I still wouldn't have known that if I wasn't in makeup. Like who knows that?
I mean, I feel like in a lot of these iconic looks and like trends that transcend, nobody ever truly gives credit to the actual person that did it, which is probably the makeup artist, the hairstylist. That's the person that created it. Yep. Yes, they had to agree to it. They had to be with the shits. They had to be with the inspo, but we did it.
We did it. We always do it,
Yes. I mean, fashion trends come from stylists, babe.
Period.
9 times out of 10. Like,
period. And then there was something I was reading.
Themselves.
Yeah, no, they definitely can't dress themselves, honestly. And I think it's the willingness and the trust, right? Because I think when I was reading something about Francois Nars plucking the Madonna brows and he shaved off Linda Evangelista's brows, I remember what I read was basically he said like I wanted to treat every person in my chair as like just like the next biggest thing. Like I wanted them to be like a bad bitch, like a super, like I wanted to take them to the next level. Whatever reinventing that meant I was going to do it. Which is kind of fire,
It is. But I mean, it also is fire that those people would like allow him to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've absolutely gone to work. Now, I'm not reinventing nobody's looks like that. But I've definitely gone in with like a client and been like, okay, I have this in mind. I know you said before, like, I be trying to be like you. Like, I need to have references and inspo. And I'm like, I just going off vibes. Yeah. I used to go in with like full on like inspo and references. And usually people they're like, oh my God, I love that. But what do you think about just like dewy skin and mascara? And then so I started being like, well, why am I spending all my time on the Tumblr or whatever, looking for stuff? And y'all not even going, no, you want me to make a mood board for what? You're not going to look at it.
Absolutely.
No, I'm going to come in there off vibes and I'm going to see how I feel when I get there.
Wow, you nailed that for me because you're right. Like people are not willing in the same way, but I also think it's because, and I'm speculating, but I think it's because people have their own platforms in a sense, right? Like, so they like want to be seen as their brand and what aligns in their brand. Whereas like, it used to be more fun. And I think like you really could only see a trend and see something new when it came out in print. And I think like now it's so instant that it's kind of like, but I feel you because I'll go in, right, and be really feeling creative and I'll be like, let's do this and let's do that. And they literally say the same thing verbatim, like, that's cool, but like, and then I'm like, damn, you boring bitch. Like, you are a baddie. Like, hello.
They're like, It's only, and now, and like, I will say that I feel like now, well, I guess even then, but now there's more like artists that are brands. And so like certain artists, people will absolutely go in like ready and willing for them to like, yes, like
totally
do it up. You know what I'm saying? But
of course.
And they work with only I won't say only, but for the most part, they only work with that kind of talent.
Of course.
That will allow them to do that.
I think about that all the time. Like same like Doja Cat, like it's like Doja Cat or like Alexa Demi. Demi. Okay. Those two against like just to be lazy, like a general situation. It's like it's very polarizing differences.
But even like I'm not even gonna hold you. Kylie be having fun a little bit.
She be having some fun, but it's still very pretty. Whereas like Doja's cool with getting very weird, you know, like
for sure.
Alexa too, like yes, hers is kind of in the middle because I do feel like Alexa's always still pretty, but she will mute out a brow or she'll like, and and you're right, the Jenners and the Kardashians, they will experiment, but like,
well, it's really just Kylie.
It is very much just Kylie. No shade. Yeah, no shade is Kylie. Like
Kendall don't really count. She's a model. Like
Kendall
she gets
don't
paid
count.
To like, and she still doesn't do as much. You know what I'm saying? But like the Kardashian girls, they're like, "What, bitch? I'm trying to be a bad bitch. You got me fucked up."
100%. And
Kim might give you a bleach brow depending on what the Skims campaign calls for.
That's what I'm right. Exactly. They're gonna give a look for a limited period of time. It is very simply a fad for them.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Like they're not going to commit to a thin brow for a decade like Madonna did.
Listen, anybody committing to a thin brow right now, like this resurgence of thin brow is blowing my mind because I put my Revitalash on every night.
Yeah, same. I'm dying to. My brows do not look like this. Like This is a fallacy. I went a decade not touching my brows. I literally just touched my brows for the first time since makeup school. Last year when Renee did them. The fuck out of here. No way.
No, I like, and I had started, there was a point where I would kind of like tweeze. I have to say tweeze because when I was in makeup school, my teacher, Lorraine, if somebody said pluck, she'd be like, what are you, a fucking chicken? Tweeze. Okay. So
love that.
I would have to tweeze like here and there. And then I started doing like nothing. And I would just like fill in like whatever is happening, it's happening. Which also, honestly, I feel like that was great training and like great like honing in of my doing brow skills on like myself and others.
Of course.
Because I used to fuck some people's brows up. I'm not going to hold you.
Get out, no way.
Beginning. What? Oh my God. Brows would be the thing that would stress me out. Like sometimes I would do them last. Sometimes I would forget them.
Sometimes I'm not going to lie, you're right. When I first started, I wouldn't even say first started, the first couple years of my career, not just even like just started. Like, like fully. I remember like Bridget asked me to do her makeup for a music video and she also lived in LA. So I think in my mind, I was like, I'm not doing what they do with her in LA. And I was so against giving her a brow.
That you forgot to do her brow?
I just like I did like so minimal that even now looking back, I see this video on MTV one time and I was like, damn, I could have gave my girl a brow. Like, how nice of her to let me experiment in that moment. But I remember she used to be like, no, a little bit more. I used to be like, nah, like you good right here. They were in hit. She was like, no, we live right here. That's why I used to be like, nah, we live right here. I have a client right now that's actually committed to a thin. I actually have two clients that have committed to a thin brow. Of course, they're younger than me. Right?
Savannah has a thin brow.
Savannah had a full brow. Now she has a thin brow. And I get it because what the thin brow does, of course, depending on how it's shaped, is it really elongates the face and it gives you room to play, obviously, right? Like,
yeah,
because you can add to a thin brow, but like if you got a bushy brow, like it's just like
you can't.
And Zion is actually who started it. So Zion's also on Gossip Girl. She's learned a lot in the show.
Yeah.
Okay, she's the one that I think mentioned Law in the show or something like that. Said something to the effect. And she originally
they mentioned The Only Agency too.
They did mention The Only Agency. Shout out to The Only.
Shout out to the gang.
Shout out gang. So anyway, so we did a shoot recently. We did a couple shoots recently, and like she was like, "No, I'm committing to the thin brow." At least she's being safe about it. I feel like, bitch, I used to get when I was a thin brow bitch. I used to get my shit waxed, nigga. Like my fucking skin probably don't even like.
What does she get hers? Do she get them tweezed?
She probably just tweezes them because even when I'm there, it's like it's an occasional like. She just probably tweezes her shape or razor, but. I used to get it religious. Like I think we've already said this religiously. Every week,
we all used to get our brows waxed. That's why I'm
brows
using
waxed, nails
brow.
done. And I used to let the nail lady do my. I used to be bugging.
We all did at some point. Like eyebrow, right? I mean, come on. They were trying to upsell. We all did that.
You're right. I didn't learn about threading till much later. By that point, I was like, "Ooh, they gotta heal." Like, never mind. But anyway, so Zion first was with the thin brow, but her thin brows were very like straight, so we could still play. Actually, they were straight, but they stopped really short. And I remember she was like, "Don't go heavy on my brow." I was like, "Nah, girl, I got you." Like, clearly, this is your thing. It's not like you're born with these, thin brows, and I could tell. You know what I'm saying? So then, anyway, now they switched because now Zion let her brows grow out. Savannah's letting them thin.
That's hilarious.
But it's very cute, and I do agree. Like, it does give you kind of some room to like get experimental. Because if you are just gonna block it out, it's not that much hair. It's not that like it's already kind of showing that the arch is a little higher, even if it's not. But I do have some clients that are committing to the thin brow. My friend Nadia, shout out to Nadia. She does Bella Hadid's makeup, and apparently they are also still committing to the thin brow. I think she kind of
a lot of people are committed to the thin brow. Renee, Skin Maestro, you know what I'm saying? He has he's definitely. I know. Towards the end of last year, he was like, "Oh my God!" Like they're all last year, but it's definitely picked up. But he's like, I had to add the thin brow service because girls have been coming in asking me like, "Do you do the thin brows?
Stop!
Can I get thin brows here?" So he had to like add that service to his situation. He also just recently added bleached brows because those are also having a major moment.
Major,
yeah.
So. They obviously started again in the 90s. That was like punk. Like that's the thing. You know what? We got to give a little credit to like the punk kids and the club kids.
Sure.
Like they
the
really
grunge kids. Yeah.
Seattle was on the map. Like how do we
what?
Like what? Like I mean, we love you, Pamela Anderson and Tyra Banks, but like nah, that bleach brow, like that was like a punk kid thing. And it was a very like cool, weird, like extraterrestrial look. Like it wasn't we've glamorized the shit out of it. Like we make that shit look pretty now, which is also amazing. That's how modern, like how did we do that? Like even when I forget what, I hate to bring them up, but Kim did a cover and she had like the American, like some American fit on. I can't remember what it was for, V Magazine, I don't remember, but she had like a Farrah Fawcett blonde.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, I don't know if I would do it. I mean, again, she did it for a photo shoot. It's fine. Clearly she didn't commit for real.
She used foundation.
Oh yeah. There's this one brand I haven't purchased yet. Sensorium. They have some shit called Brow Engineer. And it's 3 pomades, I guess. But they're in like a squeezy tube. I think Makeup Forever got some similar. Bitch. Apparently they're like you don't even need to color correct nothing. You put that shit on and it's like, boom, it's blonde.
I'm intrigued.
1 year was it Fashion Week? I can't remember, but Dorian of Butterskin, shout out to Dorian, we love Dorian. Dorian was like, Britt, like I want to do something fun, like I'm in New York, like I want to bleach my brows. So I was like, okay, like now listen. It's a pep talk involved when you want to bleach your brows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, listen, like obviously we're not going to do it permanently because you have to commit. And I was like, that's A. B, we got to figure out how blonde you're really trying to go. So we did the brows. And the nigga was like, nah, keep going. And I'm like, keep going lighter. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm letting you know that the lighter we go, you already bald. Like, it's about to be like cone heads. Like, anyway, so we went a little too light for him. Because I told him, I was like, I don't think you should go lighter. But it did inspire him. And that nigga bleached his brows. That nigga in mad campaigns right now. Bleached brows. It looks great. I mean, you don't have to bleach it to platinum, but they into it. She's up.
No, actually, when I got my brows done last time, Renee was actually bleaching someone's brows, like, as I came in.
Stop.
Yeah. I would never. I could never do that.
I was going to ask you, do you
I'm
feel
okay
comfortable?
with my brows. Nope. I'm okay
No.
with them just
What
the
about
way
clients?
they are. Oh. I mean, I'm not doing like you and applying and actually literally bleaching them, but I'll like give you a fake bleach brow with some concealer or some shit. I used to do that all the time back in my editorial days.
Cute. Wait, what's your favorite way to bleach brows without
I would
bleaching
just
brows?
use concealer.
Really?
Yeah. And if you got a full brow already, I'm just using concealer and a brow spoolie. I'm just brushing it through.
Get the fuck out. I feel like when I do it, it be like, it don't be taken. Something don't be, you know what I do? I'll do concealer, but then I'll add, I know you're not a MAC girl, but there's some like them pot soft ochre. It's like a really yellow, like light, like platinum. And then I might go over it. But then you know what issue I be having? You know, she start bleeding over here and I be trying to clean up.
You gotta just wipe it off.
She's like, no stress, babe.
Just wipe.
I know. I don't know why I be having an issue with that.
But yeah, the girlies are doing all the things with their brows. Of course, the ones who are taking it even a step further, shaving their brows off, you know what I'm saying? Doing little appliques, little diamond, crystal brows. Some of the girls be looking real cute. I'm not going to hold you. Like I said,
I'm into it.
I wouldn't do it. But you got to know what will work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I blacked out my brows for Halloween to make them thinner. They still weren't as thin as they probably should have been, but thinner. And when they were blocked out, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm going to make sure I always got eyebrows. Y'all won't catch me there. You'll see me with 80,000 different types of hair on my head, all type of hairstyles. My brows will be my brows. You will not see me wilding too much.
I've never
I worked hard to get here.
Yeah, your brows are pretty amazing.
Like, fuck out here.
I guess I wouldn't either. But, you know, I liked when Lizzo did it.
Yep. Shout out to Alex. That was cute.
Yeah, he did a good job. Love that. I think Halsey, I don't know if she shaved them off or it was just one of those like invisible / blonde kind of looks.
I just want to say that Doja Cat really kicked it off for the girls. And when she shaved off her eyebrows on live, y'all thought she was going through y'all thought she was having a Britney moment. And she was really
and I was like, nah, she just lit.
I was like she's just shaving off her brows. I never thought she was having a Britney moment.
Same. I never thought.
The girlies thought she was like having a moment. And I was like, yo, I think she might just be like preparing for her next beauty moment. And
for sure. I like that she shaved it, drew it on. I think FKA Twigs did the same thing too. I really like that. Like I'm into people that are just like, yo, I'm just gonna take it there. Like, yeah, I enjoy it there. Yeah.
Take it there. What else are the girlies doing? Trends, cloud skin. The girlies are finally putting down the Pepto-Bismol and the Preparation H and
the milk of magnesia.
8 pounds of fucking high voltage concealer. I'm sorry, foundation and concealer and the 8 pounds of lashes. And welcome, guys. Your pores have been waiting for you. But like, do you? I'm not judging.
Of course. So for those that don't know, so cloud skin is A, ultimately how Amber does her makeup. B, it's creating dimension from the first step of your even prepping. Yeah. All the way to the end. So you would use an illuminating primer on the outside, a pore refining primer on the inside, to create that. Well, no, but that's what they're saying. There's levels, right? Like, let's say
it depends on your skin's texture. Definitely.
Totally.
You might have to layer a different primer. You know what I'm saying? A little whoop, whoop, whoop.
Of course. Because it's the balance of like, not like dewy wet. Because that was a moment too. Like everybody was like, oh, I want like.
Yeah, I want to look like a glazed donut. Yeah.
And you nailed it. What is cloud skin? Like,
it's literally the Paris filter.
Basically. Like, don't we all want to look like that? But yeah, no. So it's ultimately like creating dimension with mattes, with highs and lows, like mattes and illuminating products.
Illuminating. That's an adult word. Yes.
That's
I said shiny things.
yeah, it's
Illuminating.
illuminating the skin in the right areas. But like I find it interesting because like there's like certain makeup artists that like still, of course, like they're very like they're branded as like the dewy girl guy. Them and
Like
I feel like
Nambo.
yo, she was the
Is she
first person
still
I thought
dewy?
about.
Is she still walking around dewy?
Yeah, I think so.
My algorithm. I haven't seen her in a while.
Same. But yeah, I feel like she's very like
She
here
be
I
like
am.
wet.
Wet.
A dewy dumpling. She wants to look like a wet dumpling. I remember that was her thing.
But I feel like since we're recording ourselves more, even in the most chill capacity, right? Like I feel like just the idea that you can just pull your phone out, check yourself. I feel like we're starting to be mindful of what makeup artists might have always been mindful of. Like you always want to like mat that down. Like there's certain areas that I don't think you realize can't translate well when it's dewy. Like there's just no dimension. I don't even think I've ever, because I used to, I told you this, like they used to joke with me. They used to make fun of me at NARS. They used to be like, yo, this bitch prime with fucking Minoy oil. And I'm like, nah, nigga, like, I just don't want to be dry. Like I want to be dewy. But then I guess you don't realize that shit looks sweaty depending on.
It's a thin line.
It is
I used to tell everybody there's a thin line between dewy and greasy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us would hover the line. You know, some days I would hover the line. You know, and then some days, some would just hop right the fuck over the line.
Of course.
And in dewy in person is different than dewy on camera. So to go back to what you were saying, yeah, since we're all on our phones probably all day long and, you know what I'm saying, taking selfies and shit. Well, depending on where you mat down, yeah, you might be like, what the fuck? I look greasy. The tip of my nose is greasy as fuck. Which, like, I never got the tip of the nose highlight because I was, anyway, I'm not going to
golden too. Like how? Yeah, why?
I was like, aren't we mad if whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like certain places you just don't want to look, yeah, like fucking greasy because it's not cute. It's not like, ooh, look at that highlight. It's like, oh, is she greasy?
Right. It's like, oh, you need a sponge? Like we got to
like, oh, you got oily skin, huh?
Right.
Yes.
This used to get dewy and I used to just let it. Like I used to be like, fuck it, that's like my day.
Well, that's because that is like a natural highlight point. If that gets dewy, that's like fine.
Of course, but the tip, like I feel like people try to connect it and I don't.
Yeah, I wasn't taught that. I was taught highlight here and mattifying. We want the eye to go here, not to the tip of my nose. That's so weird to me still to this day. But anybody doing things to the tip of their nose, I'd be like, what? Like the bronzer and the blush across the bridge. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. But there was a moment too where the girlies were doing it at the tip of their nose and y'all were losing me.
Yeah.
But yeah, cloud skin is giving Paris filter. Cloud skin is kind of giving like a satin finish.
Totally. And
I used to saying
absolutely
it's not dewy and it's not matte. It's like right in the middle.
Especially because there's opacity. Like I used to try to explain satin because you know some foundations always advertise themselves as either satin or and I used to say, listen, like think of a satin shoe, right? Like it's opaque, but it's got like a shine. But like a patent leather shoe is just shiny. There's no avoiding it. And you know, a clear shoe is just
and I feel like cloud skin might be easier for people with like discoloration, scarring. Mm-hmm. If you do too much you're actually like bringing attention to the texture.
100%.
Whereas with cloud skin, the way you layer the powders and the primers and the wop shebang shabam, you can actually cover discoloration. And like there are some brands out here that are making heavier coverage stuff that are still giving like dewy finish. This is Too Faced concealer, ethereal skin illuminating concealer. I want to say it's called, but like it still comes out giving you like a cute amount of coverage. I tried it twice. I tried it once. The first time I tried it, it was when I still had a black eye. So I was trying it then.
Literally trying it.
Yeah, I was literally trying it and I was like, gotta go with something else. Yeah. But now that my skin is back to normal, I do still have a little bit of darkness over here, but like you can't tell, like it gives you a nice coverage, but it still looks very light.
Yeah.
And I've powdered her, but like it still gives like light and dewy or like satin, like, yeah.
And I feel like cloud skin is actually like, it's one of those things where, you know, when you used to work in retail, people used to be like, well, I want like dewy, but like full coverage, but like matte, but like, you know what I mean? And I feel like the finessing of the technique is basically what's giving that really unrealistic description that people used to have when they want to find, because how you want a dewy matte face? Like how do you want that? But now I mean, I know you can't get it in one product. Obviously, case in point, you get it in technique of product.
That thing. You gotta layer it.
You gotta layer that thing. Agreed.
Yeah. What else is trending, Brittany?
Well, I feel like Euphoria somehow hit a moment and it hit the runway and everybody was rocking gems, like all of the things, which I feel
like every time Euphoria comes back, then Gem starts trending again.
Yes. I think what it did was it, in a mainstream way, because we got it, because like we're behind the scenes and we see people in runways and da-da-da-da-da. And I think what it did was it created a mainstream way to still look like yourself, but add a little embellishment. Whereas like ordinarily, if I suggested to do rhinestones, somebody would be like, what, bitch? No. Like, you know what I mean? Because I think they already think makeup is a lot. But what it did was it showed that it's a balance. Like you could do less on your skin and then more on your eye or whatever. And I feel like it was the best way to showcase that. Like I definitely did a bridal like shower, or I forget what the fuck she was doing, but it wasn't her wedding, but it was like something leading up to the wedding. And she was like, yeah, I want like, you know, like a Euphoria kind of thing. And I was like, well, you're getting married, so maybe like pearls. Like maybe let's like femme it up. Let's like, we're doing Euphoria University, not Euphoria High. Like we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Adult this up a little bit. Let's elevate. Perfect word. I couldn't think of it. The Henny's kicking in. Let's elevate it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it has now given what I think the ordinary consumer an opportunity to see is that like you really can get fun. Like it's not just
I think it definitely made like, especially since they're supposed to be in high school.
For sure.
A lot of high school kids started doing it, which then like trickles down to everybody else doing it essentially, right? But I feel like it just made editorial makeup wearable.
100%
for the streets. Just even like your eye, like that's some Euphoria shit.
Of course, like I would have,
because she like season 1 was, well, I don't know what season we in because it takes so long for the seasons to come out. But
I know
the first one was definitely heavy on the sparkles and shit. Yeah. And I know the season that but the last season we saw, it was like less sparkles and more like pops of graphic liner or like glitter, like more like, ooh.
Yeah. More like, ooh, I want to look at your eye. Like, ooh, what do you wear? Like,
it's like a little pop, like, ooh.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the angst of a teenager, right? It's like, no, who's actually sitting there doing when y'all used to be on the internet with them tutorials and them videos that was long as fuck back in the peak YouTube days. I used to be like, who the fuck is sitting there doing that? When I first started doing makeup and people would tell me that they would have clients and they would be working with them doing their makeup for 2 and 3 hours, I'd be like, who the fuck is letting you play on their face for that long, right? Like, so Euphoria came out and made it acceptable to be like, boop, boop. Yes. Oh, that's a look. Okay.
Totally.
I was like, now that I can get with. All right, because I don't got all day to be here pretending like I'm fucking Picasso.
Of course.
And you are a blank canvas. Like, I don't have time for that. Let me give you a little ooh, ooh. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of took like, it literally meshed like runway and fashion.
And every day.
I mean, like we literally just said, like punk dictated in the 90s a lot of these looks that we're doing now, like the bleached brows, the thin brows, whatever. And I feel like, you know, the thing about Euphoria, like I think the ordinary consumer, as we like to stereotype them to be, is like, they're people that like, they don't want to do too much. They just want to cover up their pimples. They just want, you know what I mean? Like we kind of like put them in a box. And I think, like you said, like it made it wearable. It made it so that like, if you just wanted to put an orange smoke on your eye, done. Like now you could do it. And nobody's going to look at you like, damn girl, why you did that?
Yeah, no, it's like oh, okay.
Oh my God, I definitely walked into a lot of little Condé Nast offices and them bitches had on like blue, crazy eyeliner and shit. I was like, I see y'all. Like, I was here for it.
Nasty,
I was here
y'all.
for it.
What else do we got trending? My popsicle lip is trending, so I reapplied it.
Yeah.
This looks like you sucked on a popsicle. You feel me?
It's kind of like the color comes from within the center
just
of the
like
lip.
it's literally only in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like glossy, wet. Like you use like a red lip gloss.
Of course.
According to the girl on TikTok, you would just use a little red lip gloss. For me, I have pigmented lips already.
Yeah.
My lips are kind of red. So I went in with a red lipstick first.
Nice.
In the center. And then I went in with the red lip gloss. Because I was like, what are we doing here? This is not doing what it's supposed to do. You can also mute your lips out. Like do like pat with your foundation or whatever on top. And then go in with that.
Yes.
Or you can like go. I did after.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm into it. I want to try more eye stuff. I feel like that's the only thing that I don't get. I never used to get very experimental with. I would do the popsicles, but I feel like
I was like, I don't feel like you try anything with your lips.
I used to. No, with my eyes, I don't. Definitely not with my eyes.
I feel like you don't. I feel like you give us the same lip.
You know what it is? It's
I ain't never
like,
seen you in a red lip. I ain't never seen you.
You know what's so crazy? I used to wear red lip and orange lip all the time. I think that's what it is. I think I just like burnt myself out. I think I needed a break. Like since I met you, because I didn't know there was a pandemic. So I feel like I lost 2 years of my life anyway. So I didn't really know what I wanted. Like I didn't really do my makeup or whatever.
Once we took the mask off, I was like, it's lit.
Yeah, no, it was lit. But I was never a gloss girl. And honestly, to be fair, let me tell you why I wear the same fucking lip all the time. You know how you said like brows weren't your thing? I never liked to do lips. And I remember I had to force myself because it became such a big thing. All the fucking Jenners and this and that and all these bitches, whatever. It was all, I remember like when Mac used to sell lip stains, like people used to be like, no, it was like for the older women of a certain age, I should say, that would like, that didn't want lipstick in their fine lines and they would get the stain because that bitch was dry as shit. And then I used to be like, oh, nigga, I don't gotta touch up my lips all day. And then they discontinued them. And then of course they brought them back. And then all of a sudden it came hot again. But I still did say like, I like hated doing liner. Like I would forget lips so much that I would be like, oh fuck, we gotta run out. Like I gotta hurry up and pack my kit and leave. So what you want? Like I'll just give it to you. You just do it yourself type shit. And then I remember thinking like, no, like I was like, I have to force myself to like it. So I started really getting into like new lip combos because A, that's all people want. And then, and I used to only wear red. So I think that was another reason why like, and my mom always wore red. Like I feel like I never like, I don't know. I think I was just very simple with it.
In my retail days, that's when I started playing around with lipsticks and, I don't want to toot my own horn, but look at my mouth.
Go off.
So,
period.
Anything I had on is pretty much what bitches wanted to buy.
Absolutely. I feel that.
I had women buying purple and like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these like wild colors because they'd be like, this is so beautiful on you. And I'd be like, yeah, me, ma, it ain't gonna look the same on you, but you want me to run you?
I run it up. How many you want? 3? Come on.
I love that for you. You're gonna look fire.
I feel like when I was working retail, my skin was the thing. I don't like my eyes. Like I feel like I have a lot of space. I have no crease. So I feel like you really got to get inventive. For real. Yo, when I used to go to work, I used to wear red lipstick. I used to make sure my skin was fly.
I got a lot of crease. What'd you say? I
don't got no crease. I got a lot of space. I just got a whole lid with no crease.
You have a mono lid? Like an
Asian? I do. Like if I put like, I tried to take a video of it and I didn't follow through, but I basically like put a concealer on my lid and then I looked straight and it just disappeared. And I'd be trying to explain to people like, these are illusions. I do. So yeah, so when I used to go to work, it used to be the skin because I knew I had that at least. And then I barely did anything with my brows, tons of mascara, and I just wear red lip all the time. You know what's crazy? That's why I do a wing liner a lot now too, because I never did liner. I used to never do liner ever. Yeah, like if I'm gonna look for some old pictures of myself. I never did liner.
I didn't really do eyeshadow either because I have I used to think I had a mono lid like you, and then all of my time on the internet and my YouTube days of 2020, I realized I have a hooded lid.
Yes.
And so that can be tricky long story short, I feel the same way you do. Like, I don't got all this space for eyeshadow like you girls be having.
Correct.
Like, it's very easy for me to like go in thinking I'm about to give you like a little cut, maybe a soft cut crease, and then all of a sudden it's all one color.
Yeah, right. And I agree.
That's why I play, but that's why I do more like liner. That is why I do liners and graphic liners and stuff like that, because that just fares more better for me. It's easier for me. It's less stressful for me.
Of course. Oh my God, can I put you on? There's this girl. I'm not gonna lie. She's like Uncut Gems. So there's this girl on YouTube.
I cannot.
I'm not even a YouTube girl. She's like, it's like I have like 5 people I'll ever watch on YouTube because I don't like care as much. But there's this girl named Smitha.
I don't know her.
Bitch. I'm gonna put it in the. I'm gonna send it to the editor, like put her name, her at, because I don't know off the top of my head, but Smitha has a hooded lid like you. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you, she has figured out, and it'd be like 5-minute videos. It don't even be like a whole long drawn out.
The girls on YouTube have figured out the hooded lid. Shouts out to Arnell and Alyssa, Arnell, Armand, and Alyssa, the twins.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because they both have hooded lids. And then they are what made me be like, oh shit, my lid is hooded. Because I just used to be like, I got like almond shaped eyes.
And you're like,
they almond.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they hooded. It's got a little hood.
It's a skin thing.
You do have a lid.
Right. You got to watch Smitha, bitch. You know what it is? Smitha just make it easy. She make it like boom, boom, boom. Like she's she's the actual, like when people say tips and tricks and hacks, that's her. Every time somebody say that, I'll be like, it's still about to be a 30-minute video. This bitch will do that shit in 5 minutes, man. I'm going to show you that shit. You be like, ah! Like, she is the reason.
You be like, ah! Your Hennessy is kicked in.
No, for real. No, Amber, I was like, wait.
Is your lip liner down here? Fix that.
Is it?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's because I said,
Fuck.
Let me get my mirror. It's the Henny. I told you.
No more Hennessy for her on set.
All right, so let me say the gift and the curse is this. It sounds so tacky, but it's this Victoria's Secret.
I knew you were about to say this fucking Victoria's Secret.
Bitch, I love it, but it fucking like
it's love that shit, but that shit fucking moves, bro. That shit be rolling like water.
Rolling with
That's what that should be doing.
No, you're 100% right. It's actually not good. I don't even know why I'm about to suggest it to anybody. It's not good.
Please, yeah, like please don't.
It's literally not good, but I like the way it feels.
Doing a touch up in the middle of the show. Once you finish your lip, I feel like we've given the people enough trends.
We have, and more to come, obviously, because it's about to be
tipsy.
Yeah, I'm tipsy. Guys, don't you want to drink with us? We're so
You're
fun.
tipsy. I'm like bordering on tipsy. You can see I'm a little dewier than I should be right here. You see?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get the fuck ASAP.
Get the fuck out. Guys, try some neon liners. Try some cloud skin.
Yes.
Try, I don't know if you want to try thin brows, but you could try the bleach brow.
Do what makes you happy.
That too. That's number one. Let's start with that. Yeah. Let's preface it with do what makes you happy. And if what makes you happy is shaving your eyebrows, go for it. We're fucking here for it. We're here for it.
It's a wrap. We're done, bro. We're finished.
We're done.
We're finished. It's a wrap. Thanks for pulling up. I am the A, Amber.
I'm B, Brittany.
And see your way out.
Period.
The A and B conversation. See your way out. We're out, bro. We're out. Bye.